everybody, thanks for stopping back by Wild Bird Creative. A big welcome to all the new subscribers. Just felt like doing a real quick journal page today. I've got just a scrap of light yellow tissue paper, and I've got my L266 Stencil Girl Products Scribble Stencil, which I just love. But let's start by just getting this stuck down, and have to be really careful with this. I'm actually going to also add some on here, some glue stick, just because this is a long strip of tissue paper and it is pretty delicate. But I think I'll be okay as long as I go slow and steady. Add a little bit on there. There we go. Just run some right along the edge. There we go, and I don't mind if there are a couple wrinkles. That will work fine. Now, taking the scribble stencil, let me just decide how I want it to be. There we go. Now I've got some just very bright, brilliant red. And I'm just going to come in and start working. I might even grab a bigger sponge so that I can work at a quicker pace. You don't want to watch me just stenciling. You want to just see the quick steps so that you can get your supplies out and have at it. Now I'm going just here and there on the stencil. I don't want my whole background to be covered because I'm going to add another color on top. So let me come right in here. And I'll show you how that looks. See, it's just a real quick one. And then I'm going to add some light portrait pink. And I'm going to use the exact same sponge and just let the colors blend. Let's see, let me set the sponge down. There we go. Set this aside. So I've just got a few colors, but they pop with this white and this yellow. And that's what I was going for. Now I've got just your standard black. And I'm going to put a little bit on my foam plate. And I've got these nifty, they're like from poster mailers. They're not from tape because I don't have any sticky residue on them. So something came packed in these. And all I'm going to do is just kind of butter the edge here. And just make some circles. Nothing fancy. Nothing exact. Just some nice loose circles. There we go. And because it's, you can see it here, because it's all layers of paper that make this tube, you get the lines in there. Almost ends up looking like a tree trunk. Okay, moving on from that, I'm just going to use a cork. And what I do with corks is I tap it in and then I make a little puddle next to it so that I get good covering on here. Let's put one right there. And I'm going to turn it the other way too. Just a nice circle. Sometimes, if you have the right consistency of paint, you can put it down and it will spin perfectly, but you want to go really slowly if you're going to do that, because it can spin off just that viscosity. There we go. Let's do one more. This just kind of anchors this corner. Give it a couple spins. Perfect. Lay that aside. So now I've got the 3 down here, the 2, and then all that cool writing. But it still needs some more. And I think what I want to do next is just add some lines. Get a little bit of vertical effect in there. I will use my old LED light. And I'm just going to do the same thing. Get some paint on it. And then just roll it. Load it up again. This is nice because you've got that great handle that you can hold. And look at how super those lines are. You can't go wrong with them. And you can add as many as you want. Save your LED lights once they die. Save at least one of them so that you can use it and just have some fun. And I think the last thing I'm going to do is use my old trusty desk stamp. I don't know what this is from. It's been around since I was a child. And again, it's just some nice crisp lines. I love this stamp. It's nothing fancy. It had a handle at one point. It's nice and deep too, which is especially good because you can easily use it with paints. It's not just simply something you can only use with a stamp pad. Sometimes you run into that. Okay, I'm going to go with Leave Your Mark, and I'm going to use a little bit of the paint on the edge just to darken it. Just have to go slow and steady. There we go. I'm going to put it right in the middle. This page was all about mark making. So it seems perfect to use this particular scrap of words. And I think what I will do is find something really tiny and put one last dot in there. I've got so many things to make marks with. I think I'll just use, oh, you know what? Maybe I'll use the bottom of this actually. Just the base of my glue stick. There we go. And while I'm at it, I'll add just a couple more. Just because it's fun to make marks. Look at that. I could go on and on with this, but I'm going to stop super quick. I mean, this you could finish, and all I have to clean up are these few things and one stencil, because this I can just wipe off. Thanks for stopping by, Wild Bird Creative. I'd love to see what you create.